October 12, 2025, EO 48 AM, Kaliningrad Oblast. Russian exclave wedged between Poland and Lithuania. 86 mi of Baltic coastline. Population 1 million. Strategic importance incalculable. From here, Russia projects power into NATO's backyard. From here, missiles reach Berlin, Warsaw, Stockholm. And right now, from here, something just launched. 6 thermal signatures, ballistic trajectory heading west. U.S. Space Force satellites detect them instantly. Classification immediate. Iskander M short-range ballistic missiles. Range 310 mi, speed, max 7 maneuverable during flight. Can carry conventional warhead. Can carry nuclear warhead. Nobody knows which until impact in 6 minutes. Welcome to Navy Force, where 6 minutes separate peace from annihilation. NATO Integrated Air Defense Command Center Brussels goes to highest alert. Red lights, sirens, screens showing missile tracks, 6 trajectories, computers calculating impact zones, results terrifying. 3 missiles heading toward Poland, 2 toward Lithuania, 1 toward international waters, but trajectory analysis uncertain. Iskander maneuvers mid-flight, changes course, evades interceptors, could hit anywhere within 200-mile radius, could be military exercise. Russia conducts them constantly, announces some, keeps others secret, tests NATO response time, tests defenses, tests nerve. But this launch different. No advance warning, no NOTAM notice to airmen, no diplomatic notification, just 6 missiles airborne toward NATO territory. Polish Patriot battery near Elbląg detects launch immediately 89 miles from Kaliningrad. Battery commander checks threat board 6 inbound. ETA 5 minutes 20 seconds. He has authorization to engage without higher approval. Defend Polish airspace. Standing orders. Clear rules. He orders battery to active mode. Radar fully powered. Tracking all 6 missiles. Pack 3 interceptors armed. 4 ready. He can engage 4 missiles. 2 will get through. Mathematics brutal. He selects highest probability targets, locks fire control, finger on launch button, waiting. Every second counts. Launch too early, missile waste is fuel. Launch too late, no time for intercept. Training says, wait until 120 seconds from impact. He waits, sweat despite cold morning. USS Gravely Arleigh class destroyer in Baltic Sea. Positioned 67 miles north of Gdansk. Aegis radar tracking same missiles. Combat Information Center coordinating with NATO command. Captain receives flash message. Support Polish defense engage leakers. Leakers are missiles that penetrate first layer. Gravely carries SM-3 interceptors, designed for ballistic missile defense. Range 930 miles. Speed, Mach 15 can hit missiles in space. She has 12 ready, more than enough. But political question, who fires first? Americans or Poles? Poland is defending their own territory, American ship and international waters. Does US engage Russian missiles before they enter Polish airspace? That's act of war technically. Maybe lawyers argue. Meanwhile, missiles fly. Question for viewers. 6 minutes to decide war or peace. What do you do? A. Shoot immediately. B. Wait for impact location. C. Demand Russian explanation. Comment your command decision. Navy Force believes crisis leadership requires impossible choices under unthinkable pressure. At 05:50 a.m., Russian Ministry of Defense statement released. Routine military exercise, Iskander training launch impact zone, Baltic Sea international waters. No danger to civilian or military assets. Statement transmitted to NATO, to Washington, to Brussels, to every major capital. But statement conflicts with trajectory data. Missiles not heading for sea, heading for land. Polish territory, Lithuanian territory. Statement is lie or trajectories will change. Iskander can maneuver, can alter course 30 to green. Maybe Russian statement is true. Maybe missiles will turn north, impact water safely. Or maybe statement is deception, cover story for actual attack. 4 minutes until truth revealed. Lithuanian air defense, also active. S-300 system purchased from NATO partners. Not as capable as Patriot, but functional. Tracks 2 inbound missiles. Commander requests engagement authority. Vilnius responds immediately. Weapons free, defend airspace. Lithuania is small nation. 2.8 million people. Can't absorb missile strike. Can't risk damage. Must defend. S-300 launches 2 missiles. Smoke trails climb into dawn sky. Lithuanian interceptors chasing Russian missiles. David versus Goliath. Except David has surface-to-air missiles. USS Gravely captain makes decision. Can't wait for impact. Must act now. Orders Aegis to engage. Fire control solution computed. 3 SM-3 missiles programmed. Target selected. Prioritizing missiles heading toward populated areas. Launch sequence initiated. 3 vertical cells open. SM-3 missiles ripple fire. 1-second intervals. Boosters ignite. Missiles climb. Faster than sound. Faster than thought. Reaching for Russian weapons. This is commitment. This is American warship firing on Russian missiles. No going back. Consequences unknown. But doing nothing guarantees catastrophe if missiles are armed. At 05:52 a.m., first intercepts Polish Patriot battery launches 4 PAC-3 missiles. Closing speed combined Mach 12. Computers calculate intercept geometry. Perfect solutions. Impact. 2 Russian Iskanders destroyed. Explosions at 45,000 TOS/ft. Conventional warheads detonate. High explosive. Not nuclear. First confirmation. These missiles not nuclear armed. Tension drops slightly. Still catastrophic, have hit cities, but not civilization ending. 2 more Russian missiles maneuvering, evading, changing course. Patriot interceptors miss. Missiles continue. Now heading north. Trajectory shifted. Computers recalculate. Impact zone Baltic Sea. International waters. Exactly as Russians stated. Exercise. After all, maybe on Navy Force, we understand fog of war isn't metaphor. It's reality. Nobody has complete picture. Everyone guessing. Everyone gambling. Subscribe to Navy Force if you respect military personnel making life decisions with incomplete information. Lithuanian S-300 interceptors close on 2 remaining Russian missiles, but those missiles also maneuvering, banking hard. New trajectory north-northeast away from Lithuania towards sea. S-300 systems can't adjust fast enough. Interceptors miss. Russian missiles continue. Impact Baltic Sea. Conventional warheads explode. Massive water plumes harmless. Exercise complete. As stated, Russians telling truth. NATO fired first. Destroyed 2 Russian missiles during legitimate exercise. That's escalation. That's provocation. Moscow will protest loudly. USS Gravely SM-3 interceptors still climbing, reaching space. Tracking Russian missiles that already changed course. Fire control tries to abort. Can't. Missiles autonomous. Committed to intercept. 1 SM-3 misses. Russian missile already splashed. Nothing to hit. Second SM-3 proximity detonates. Destroys Russian missile that was heading for water anyway. Unnecessary kill. Third SM-3 aborts. Self-destructs. Falls into Baltic. Crisis over. Damage assessment begins. Russians launched 6 Iskanders. 5 reached intended impact zone. Baltic Sea. International waters, no damage. 1 destroyed by Polish Patriot. 1 destroyed by USS Gravely. NATO fired on Russian exercise. But wait, something wrong. Debris analysis from destroyed missiles. Polish recovery teams collect fragments. Chemical analysis. Warhead composition. Unusual, not standard high explosive. Traces of inert nuclear material. Training rounds. Missiles carrying dummy nuclear warheads, simulating nuclear strike profile. That changes everything. Russia wasn't conducting conventional exercise. Russia was rehearsing nuclear attack on NATO using inert warheads, testing delivery systems, testing flight profiles, testing NATO response. That's preparation for war. That's not exercise. That's reconnaissance. Pentagon receives Polish analysis. Euro 7:23 a.m., Washington time, October 11th. Still evening there? Joint Chiefs briefed immediately. Evidence clear. Russia tested nuclear strike capability, deliberately ambiguous to create confusion. Statement saying exercise was technically true, but intent was hostile. NATO response now critical. Do nothing. Russia interprets as weakness. Overreact. Russia claims NATO aggression. Proportional response requires calibration, balance, messaging without escalation. At 08:14 a.m., Kaliningrad time NATO response begins. All member states increase alert status. DEFCON equivalent raised. Not war footing, but heightened readiness. American forces in Europe mobilize. B-52 bombers deploy from Barksdale AFB to United Kingdom. 12 aircraft strategic message. Nuclear-capable bombers forward deployed within range of Kaliningrad. Within range of Moscow deterrence demonstration 2 can play rehearsal game. USS Gravely joined by 3 more destroyers. USS Porter, USS Ross, USS Carney, 4 Aegis warships in Baltic Sea, combined 384. Vertical launch cells, hundreds of missiles, sea-based air defense network established covering Polish airspace, Lithuanian airspace, Estonian airspace, Latvian airspace, message clear, NATO airspace protected. Another Iskander launch will be engaged. All of them. No survivors. Polish government demands explanation from Moscow. Ambassador summoned. Protest filed. Iskander launch without notification violates agreement. Creates unacceptable risk. Threatens European security. Strong words. Diplomatic language masking fury. Poland remembers history, remembers invasions, remembers occupations, won't tolerate threats. Russia responds dismissively. Exercise conducted in accordance with international law, launch from Russian territory into international waters. NATO overreacted. NATO destroyed Russian property. Russia demands compensation. Absurd claim, but typical. Deny reality. Create false narrative. Confuse issue. Lithuanian president addresses nation. Today we witnessed Russian aggression disguised as exercise. Ballistic missiles with nuclear profiles launched toward our territory only changed course at last moment. This is intimidation. This is unacceptable. Lithuania calls on NATO to strengthen Baltic defense. Permanent presence. Permanent protection. Speech broadcast worldwide. Public opinion shifts. Europeans who thought Russian threat exaggerated now reconsider. Polls show increased support for military spending, increased support for NATO. Russian intimidation backfires, creates unity instead of division. At 11:37 a.m. Kaliningrad time, NATO announces major exercise scheduled for October 20th, 8 days away. Largest Baltic exercise in 30 years involving 40,000 troops, 200 aircraft, 50 ships, including USS Harry S. Truman Carrier Strike Group Amphibious Assault Rehearsal. Air superiority operations. Ballistic missile defense. Exercise scenario defending Poland and Lithuania from aggression. Thinly veiled message. NATO practices. What Russia only rehearses. Exercise name. Operation Baltic Shield. Intentionally on the nose. No ambiguity. No confusion. Clear warning. Russia responds with countermeasures. Additional Iskander batteries deployed to Kaliningrad, S-400 air defense systems, Bastion coastal defense missiles, anti-ship cruise missiles. Range 370 Maxer missiles can hit targets across Baltic Sea. Coastal defense mission officially actually offensive capability. Threatens shipping, threatens NATO naval presence, threatens entire Baltic region. Arms race accelerating, each side matching other. Escalation spiral. Difficult to stop once started. What did Navy Force learn from this crisis? First, ballistic missile launches create instant decisions. 6 minutes warning. No time for debate. Leaders must act. Systems must function. Hesitation equals catastrophe. Second, ambiguity is weapon. Russia deliberately unclear exercise or attack conventional or nuclear. Uncertainty paralyzes response, enables aggression. Third, NATO unity matters. Polish, Lithuanian, American forces coordinated instantly. Shared data, shared defense. Single enemy faced multiple opponents. That's deterrence multiplied. Fourth, technology prevents war. Aegis detected launch. Patriots intercepted missiles. Demonstration of capability prevents future attempts. Fifth, forward presence essential. USS Gravely and Baltic Sea enabled immediate response without American warship gap in coverage. Missiles succeed. That's why Navy Force exists. Final lesson. Kaliningrad is pressure point. Russian exclave surrounded by NATO. Vulnerable, isolated, therefore aggressive, compensating for weakness, projecting strength it doesn't fully possess. Understanding this explains Russian behavior, doesn't excuse it, but explains it. Strategic empathy enables effective response. Quiz answer from earlier. 6 minutes to decide. What do you do? Answer is B. Wait for impact location. Shooting immediately risks destroying exercise. Waiting for Russian explanation wastes precious time. Monitoring trajectory until course clear balances response with restraint. That's what professionals did. That's why crisis resolved without casualties. Discipline under pressure saves lives, prevents wars. Here's what mainstream media won't discuss. Baltic is NATO's vulnerable flank. Narrow corridor between Poland and Lithuania called Salki Gap, only 65 miles wide. Russia could cut it in hours. Isolate Baltic states. Kaliningrad West, Belarus East, pincer movement. NATO knows this. Russia knows this. Everyone wargames scenario. Nobody wants it to happen. But preparation essential. Deterrence requires credible defense. Credible defense requires forward presence. That's why American ships patrol Baltic. Why American troops deploy Poland. Why NATO exercises constantly. Preparing for war prevents war. Paradox of peace. Peace belongs to those who demonstrate strength. To Russia and anyone threatening NATO territory. Alliance is united. Alliance is ready. Alliance will defend every inch of member state territory. That includes Baltic states. That includes Poland. That means Kaliningrad launches will be engaged. Ambiguous exercises will be challenged. Aggression will face consequences. That's Article 5. Attack one, attack all. Most powerful deterrent ever written. Subscribe to Navy Force if you believe NATO alliance protects freedom. Like this video if you support American forces deployed Europe. Comment below. Was NATO right to engage missiles? Should USS Gravely have waited? What would you do as Polish Patriot battery commander? Your perspective matters. Your engagement builds community devoted to naval truth. Next threat already planned. Next missile already prepared. Next crisis already scheduled. Russia testing boundaries, constantly finding limits, probing weaknesses. NATO must remain vigilant, must maintain readiness, must demonstrate resolve. That's exhausting. That's expensive. That's necessary because alternative is surrender. Alternative is subjugation. Alternative is loss of freedom. Unacceptable. Stay informed, stay engaged, stay with Navy Force. Tomorrow's crisis won't announce itself, but we'll be watching. We'll be reporting. We'll be revealing truth others hide. Because American citizens deserve to know what their military faces, what their sailors defend against, what their tax dollars prevent. That's our mission. That's our commitment. That's why Navy Force exists.